Hi, I'm Shakyra LaShae here at Revenge, the fashion magazine. I'm here in the Hamptons for Midnight Moon, a summer vernissage. I'm standing next to Miss Annika Connor. How are you this evening?
I am wonderful. Thank you for attending.
Thanks for having us. We're so glad to be here. You look lovely.
Thank you. We're so glad you are here.
Tell us a little bit about your book, Point Suite.
Well, I'm producing a book on contemporary art, which features the work of 40 young emerging artists. Some of the artists that are on display here tonight, so I'll have to give you a little tour. You'll have to check them out and see.
Yeah.
But we have quite an international mix of artists from Switzerland, Japan, New York, LA, Germany, China. It's really fun. It's a really exciting project. And the book will be out this fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Annika, 40 artists, right?
Yes.
Now, tell us about some of the legal complications, if any, that you may have had with all these international artists.
Well, when I first started this, I'm just an artist, and I realized that I had to start a company to do this book project. So that was the first start. Like, how do I form a company? So I didn't know what to do. And there's this amazing organization called Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts, which is VLA, and they provide free legal service for artists to give them advice about what you need to know. So they sort of held my hand and explained to me, you need copyright, you need reproduction rights, you need a corporation. This is how you do all of that. So the first year of working on this project was really spent figuring out those issues and figuring out how, we could have all of these artists in and reproduce their work, and we got that figured out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was quite a challenge. When I finished writing my final contract, I got offered a job in contract law. So I figured I succeeded in learning the ins and outs of it. But now we're well on our way, and the book is virtually finished. We're going to send it to the printers in about a month.
Ooh,
And and when it's all done, we're going to have a hardbound, full color, coffee table art book, which is really exciting.
And I understand the work is watercolor.
It's all mediums. I'm a watercolorist, so my work is watercolor.
Okay.
But we have oil paints, we have prints, we have sculpture, we have photography, all sorts of acrylics, drawings, pretty much you name it. So we really wanted to kind of capture what's happening in the contemporary art scene right now with these sort of young unknowns, and highlight what we think is really interesting. And so it's an artist-run project, so it's not a gallery or a museum that maybe has a commercial tie to profiting from this artist's work. It's just a bunch of artists that are saying, hey, pay attention to these people.
That's very important.
Yeah, so it's really fun.
Okay, so Annika, tell us a little about the name Point Suite.
Well, Point Suite is the book project, and I have a partner, Nick, in the book, and we sat down to think about what we wanted to name the book, and we had a couple of considerations in mind. We didn't want it to sound pretentious. We didn't want it to sound like we were starting a new art movement. And we wanted it to sound a little bit like a really cool rock band. So we had these thoughts in mind, and we just started brainstorming. And I suggested, I like the idea of suite, because it's spelled like a hotel suite, but it suggests that what we're doing is sort of sweet. And it is. It's sweet. It's innocent. In a way, a little naive. Artists presenting our conversation for the art world to see, and so we like that idea of it gave you a location in your imagination that you could go to see this art, but it also suggested the innocence of the freshness of the idea, and then point. It's we're pointing out what. Maybe you should pay attention to. A lot of the artists use the point of a brush, the point of a pencil, they point the camera. What's the point of this book? So we kind of like that play on these things, and it worked out pretty well for us. And we came to that name in one afternoon, and it just seemed fun.
Well, it's very catchy.
Thank you. We liked it. So,
Annika, fill us in on AI production.
well, AI Production stands for Active Ideas Productions. And when I decided to start AI Productions, it was because I had the idea for the book. And like I said, I needed to figure out, I needed to have a corporation in order to do all the contracts. But it's grown. And it's like when you have an idea in New York City, things take on a momentum, and the next thing you know, you're chasing after it. So I titled my company Active Ideas Productions because I wanted this almost umbrella organization for whatever idea I wanted to work on outside of the studio. And I also have this theory about ideas. And I feel like when you have a great idea, there's this danger zone of an idea being sucked into a black hole. You know, and if you have an idea and you don't start to do something about it, it just gets sucked into this black hole of great ideas that never became anything. And that's really bad. So I like when once an idea becomes active and you start working on it, then it has a real chance to become real. And it becomes something that, can impact you. And so...
Well, you just shared the secret with us.
I don't know. We'll see how it all turns out. But I just thought it made sense. So
It does. Tell us a little bit about all of these different artists. Where did you find them, or how did you guys meet, or is there 40?
Yeah, I know. And actually finding all of the artists was such a fun challenge.
Really?
I'd worked with a couple of artists before in different projects I had curated, and I asked those artists, who do you like? Who do you think is just as good or better than you? Who doesn't have people paying attention that they need to? And I got all these names, and I started doing studio visits. And I used to live in London, so when I would travel over to London, I would arrange all these studio visits, and I'd visit my cousin in Paris, and I'd do a studio visit, and I got to meet all these amazing artists all over the world and see who they suggested and see who those people suggested. And it was really fun. It was by invitation, and we had a team of curators that were sort of suggesting, maybe you should pay attention to this person. And it was amazing because I got to meet such inspiring, fantastic group of people.
So who are some of your favorite artists?
Well, I have to admit, I have a few personal favorites. And I like to collect art too. So sometimes if I manage to sell 2 or 3 paintings at once and I've got rent covered, then I'll turn around and buy a painting with the sale of one of my paintings. And I've done that with a few of the artists in the book. Woody Shepherd is an amazing artist. He's not in the show because he makes these huge paintings, and he lives in Utah, and so it's not so easy to transport them. My book partner Nicholas Papadakis, he's incredible. He's done the globes that are in there.
Okay, beautiful.
They're so beautiful. The Huber twins who are in this show, they are twins from Switzerland that work collaboratively on all of their work.
Wow.
And it's all collage, and it's pretty amazing. There's so many others. I mean, I kind of love them all. So
that's important.
Yeah.
What inspires you? What are some influences on your personal work?
Well, I find that as an artist, I'm really inspired by the beauty that I see in everyday life. In particular, I think my work is about representing the feminine aesthetic. So ideas as a woman you have of what is beautiful, what is romantic, what is inspiring, and I tend to re-examine that and depict that in my paintings. And sometimes, that's a decadent interior, sometimes that's a kissing couple, sometimes it's a peacock prancing around a garden. And my paintings almost become these vignettes of memory and nostalgia and a little bit of a daydream.
Okay. So Annika, give us a webpage or someplace where we can find you and get more information about the book and when it's coming out, where we can pick it up.
Absolutely. We have several different websites. The book is the Point Suite art book. So the website is just pointsuiteartbook.com. My company is Active Ideas Productions, AI Productions. So it's aiproductions.org.
Okay.
And if you want to see my paintings, it's just www.annikaconnor.com.
Annika, thank you so very much for having us. It's beautiful out here. We're having a great time. We're definitely going to meet some of the artists that are in the book. So you have a great evening.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm so excited you're here. We must get you some champagne.
Once again, I'm Shakyra LaShae here at Revenge, the fashion magazine, here in the Hamptons for Midnight Moon, a summer vernissage.